Peace and blessings, family. Do I have something for you to see? Now, I got this book from one of the old little thrift shops. When they had in a certain section, they had their books, and I ran across a couple of interesting little things. I'm big about African history. I'm big about where we originated from. I know a lot of people think that it's just we were here in America because we had the foundational Black American thing going on, and technically, somewhat in some cases that is kind of true. But for the most part, we all would know that the Most High said we'll be sin amongst people who hate us and despises us. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. Another day, I just really want to kind of focus on this African book I found. It's called Cultural Atlas of Africa. Now, it is very interesting. The book is old, and people really wrote about Africa, and this is from pretty much non-biased sources. They're kind of giving us the real deal. So I kind of giving you guys, this is what you kind of see, so maybe you'll be able to purchase this book yourself. And like I said, I love history. I've always been a history fan, history buff. Even as a child, I thought it was kind of weird. Well, not weird. I was just always different. Of course, I didn't pay the $20. I know you see $20 up there, but I didn't pay $20 for this book. I probably paid about maybe $5. But here, this is what the book looks like. And this is what it has on here. And I thought these were very interesting. Highly interesting. And I know a lot of us, claim to be from foundation Black Americans, but if you check your DNA, you realize that we weren't originally here. Now, I'm going to say this because I do believe that there was this place called Pangea in the beginning. And after the flooding, it all kind of separated. But there was also other floodings that I read about in the scripture too that I found interesting. Or at least it may not be in the scripture, but in the book of Jasher or the book of Jubilees. It's one that pretty much talks about there was multiple floods and there are things that happened here on this earth. And there's a lot of things that are being discovered that we were told are mountains literally have brick in them. And it makes you question a whole lot about what we were told or taught in history. History has been rearranged to confuse everybody so that we can't track, the real history of the world. Like the Bible talks about. The Bible really gives us the true history of the world, but they try to hide it by manipulating facts and adding in a little fiction, a little European fiction to fit their narrative. But if you notice, look at all of this, family. Look at this. The Biafra on the coast of Ghana. Now, I have a real map of Africa. I'm just trying to salvage it because it's slowly coming apart from me using it so much. But I've been using tape to pretty much, to hold it together. But I'm trying to find these new maps, but I'm starting to notice that maps are expensive. They're asking you almost $50 to $100, some even more than that, especially for the old school maps. And they're wrong for that. And that's another way to keep, the low income people from really getting into the truth. And we know who the low income is. Well, it's change is happening. A shift is happening in the economy. And it's the Europeans that are now suffering. But just look at this map, y'all. Look at all this interesting stuff. Now, I want you to pay attention to the highlighted spots. I highlighted the Nile River and how it runs down, the main parts. Now, there are some parts that branched off into Ethiopia, but for the most part, if you notice, it goes all the way down past the elephant that you probably see right there in the center of your screen. And then there's a Tigerman horn. Tigerman Han, I think I pronounced that right. I'm not sure. But just pay attention. Look at where it runs. Look where it runs. It runs all the way down here to Zaire. It runs into the middle. Now, there are branches of it off, but the main part is that it runs all the way down. And you notice Agag? See that, family? That Z down here. Now, on my real map, the other map that I have of Africa, it shows in these same spots, it actually has names of some of my Hebrew brothers in there. And I thought it was kind of strange and kind of weird. I'm like, why am I finding a lot of stuff around this southern part, so-called southern part of Africa? You know, you got Agag, again, Agag's kind of people are all in this area, near the Zephyla and all that. But look at that, family. And this ain't even the horn. The horn is up top near the Arabias, which they've been telling us that this is where we were. But I got a feeling that we were actually a little of what they call the South. But I noticed that, you know, the Europeans are trying to hold on to this more than they are trying to hold up to the north, so-called north, the so-called upper Nile, which runs into the Spain and all that, to the Mediterranean Sea and all that kind of stuff. They consider that the upper Nile, but we know why they did that too. But I digress, because again, that's a whole conversation in itself. But pay attention and look at the words, family. Look at the names. Look at this. Amara is right here. Like again, the Bafar. And like I said, of course, some of these things are said in Greek too. They put it in Greek and try to change it up a little bit, even in this text right here. But I just want you to pay attention. Pay attention to what we see here. You see the mountains. You see all of that. You got Nubia. And then it goes over. And you see this stuff. This is so interesting, family. Like literally, this is very interesting. And it tells a lot. It says the Niger Flavius. The Niger River flowing. And you got the Tigray. So a lot thinking there's been manipulations. Definitely been some manipulating of the maps and what's really going on in the world. But this map by far is definitely proving scripture to a certain extent. But pay attention. This is the Nile that you see highlighted. I highlighted on purpose to show you where it runs, how far down it runs, technically. And here's what you have. Galila. You see that by Begami? By Begami, that little circle, it says Galila. Now, you know they change words and certain words, you know, they manipulate. So you can't find out what the truth is. But for the most part, too, I noticed that the letter M and the letter O and the T and the PA, but it's not adding up. They don't have the words together. So if anyone has any information as to why this is or what am I seeing when it comes to these letters, the letter M, the letter O, and the letter T, PA, is not adding up in the proper spots. But yes, this has been great, family. This book is amazing. And so I'm starting to kind of read into this. I'm really starting to read into this. And you notice that they even have that Arabia is part of Africa. Interesting. Highly, highly interesting. Because you know what? I believe that, you know, they moved our city because it's hard to believe that this Arabia was actually the promised land. Now, even though it's part of Africa, I believe it was left to our Arab brothers and sisters. And so here you go. But on the other side of the Nile, that you can see, on the other side, not even, I'm talking about the Nile itself, the highlighted section, you'll see that this is where we are. And look right here at that highlighted word on the left side of your screen. It says Elohim. Or Elohim. What does that mean, family? What does that mean? I mean, I could sit here and study this all day. But it'd be great to have someone who's very familiar with maps, world maps, to kind of talk to us about what I'm seeing here. Because like I said, my other book that I have, not the book, but the other map that I have definitely is huge. I mean, it shows a lot of stuff and it says a lot of things. Now, we'll be posting that on here pretty soon. There's a lot of work to be done. Most High is calling me to come out now and start to put these things into perspective. Is to get it out there. But anyway, family, I hope you found this very, very informative. And like I said, I will be posting more pictures and more videos to show you what we're looking at. And again, it's called Cultural Atlas of Africa. And it's an old book. You can see the watermarks and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, they're going to show us this type of stuff. Because you got to understand, Ham was not a true follower of Christ at the time. Not even Christ, but the Most High God at the time, period. The Hamashiach. You know, they were serving him. So of course, they're going to show this type of stuff. They're not going to show us being, you know, who we are. But this is some of the stuff that they talk about. This is some of the things right here. And here's the thing where it says list of maps. The Canary Islands. And this will tell you how we came over here, how it came to be. And everything. But I hope you like this. Hope you enjoy looking at this map. Just like I love like I said, I love history. I can look at maps all day. And it's just always been my thing. Ever since in my youth, I was the weird kid who always pretty much was hooked to the history class. You know, I was that person who literally sit there and watch the videos, especially of the Civil War, because elementary school I went to, they showed this kind of stuff. Even in our youthful days, we learned so-called American history. And of course, they chop it up to make it seem like this has always been the way it's been. Blacks on the bottom, and the Europeans being on top. But it says a lot, family. But here's some more pictures of what it looked like. And now you notice that this is called the right here is being called the Atlantic Ocean now. Before it was called the let's go back to the other map. And it was called Oceanus Ethiopiacus, I'm sorry. But look at the creatures that they have right here. It also brings to mind that, like I said, that anime, I'm an anime fan, and it brought back that one show anime called One Piece. And One Piece was definitely saying a lot. So I advise everybody, you know, if you're not in anime, but you want to kind of get some history and get some facts and stuff like that, you know, because, you know, they hide that stuff in, like, you know, movies. They hide history in movies and things like that. And we take it as entertainment, but not realizing that they're actually telling us something. They're hiding it, though, but they are telling us something. And that's right there, what we got here. This is what they're showing us. But this right here, too, is highly interesting. Just pay attention, family. Just watch all of this, the Blue Nile and stuff like that. So this right here is taking us a little different. But see how the Nile runs down to the main parts? To Rwanda, Tanganyika. I'm not pronouncing that right. But this is very interesting stuff, fam. Like I said, again, I love it. I love it. I love it. Because you learn so much. And if you ever need some peace of mind, sometimes it's to study. Find what works and what you like and just study. And just study. But anyway, family, I'm not going to keep this too much longer. We've been going for about 15 minutes now. But I just kind of want you to get an idea about what we're dealing with here and how this place can really relate to the scripture. You know, why are they trying so hard to hide everything? They're trying to hide our history, family, from us. And why the Europeans were so hell-bent on, you know, capitalizing on so-called South Africa. Because I've noticed that Europe is definitely doing, you know, they got this place locked down because there's gold mines and diamond mines within this area. Because other map, it shows where there are gold mines. If you look at the pictures to the video that I put up, you'll see. But anyway, I think that's going to be it, family. I'm glad you joined me. I hope you like what you see, and I hope you find something that I may have missed that you can bring up and point out. And like I said, I'm be coming back with my other map that I bought, and I got it from Barnes and Noble a few years back. I would say I at least had it for about 5 years or more, and pretty much when I came into the truth, and that's been about almost 8-9 years. I've almost been in the truth for about a decade now, the real truth. Okay. And it says a lot, and I've noticed a lot of patterns, especially around this coastal area, and I noticed some words and some names within this central area where the diamonds and golds, because Most High said he's going to enrich us, right? He had us in the land of milk and honey. It seemed like all milk and honey is down here in so-called Southern Africa, where the Europeans have colonized. So anyway, family, I hope you enjoy this. Like I said, if you find something that I may have missed that you want to expound on some more, by all means, please do. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. And until then, sisters and brothers, I pray that you have a blessed day.